expect more traffic in Daytona Beach. Sky 6 flew over Daytona International Speedway, and in just a few hours, engines will roar. We're about an hour away now from the WWII 250, and tomorrow there will be the Coke Zero Sugar 400. Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30 Getting Results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
And I'm Eric Sandoval in for Justin Wormuth tonight. Of course, it means big business and a big economic impact all around Volusia County. News 6's Molly Reed is taking us inside the Speedway tonight.
The camping fields are packed with fans, and soon these stands will be too at the World Center of Racing.
There are only 2 races left before the playoffs start, so the drama and the intensity are going to be on a really high level tomorrow night.
With just 4 open spots left in the playoffs, too, Daytona International Speedway President Frank Kelleher says the Coke Zero 400 tomorrow is going to give these race fans a big show. And dozens of thousands are visiting Daytona Beach to witness it.
This race for many, many decades happened on the 4th of July weekend, and now we're really settling into this August date, which is really wonderful for our hotels. Having a new event the end of August is really great for our economy.
Local restaurants say they usually see double the customers during these races, and while many of the fans will stay on site here at the Speedway, others are packing in the hotels.
This weekend, sold out.
Really?
Yeah, sold out.
Especially in an economy where small businesses are struggling. Lodging and Hospitality Association President Bob Davis says the event now happening in August helps keep them going.
But with this race late as it is, it gives us another hype. And the small hotels are doing well. We had a very good summer, not a great summer, but a decent summer.
And the fans will stay all weekend long with the qualifying race tonight at 5:05 and the 400 race happening tomorrow at 7:30. In Daytona Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed getting results, News 6.
All right, so that was basically your warning. If you don't have business to take care of this weekend,
I live in Daytona Beach, and I'm going to just stay away from International Speedway
Yeah, exactly.
Boulevard.
Not the time to run errands this weekend.
No, definitely
for
not.
Sure. All right, Daytona International Speedway will pay tribute to a longtime ticket office employee, Juanita Lightnin-Epton. There will be a display honoring her life inside the building near the Lightnin-Epton ticket office. She was the last surviving original employee hired by the France family when NASCAR was just first getting started.
Just know that Lightning is looking down and smiling and finally watching a race, because she would never leave this ticket office to watch a race. She always felt she had to be here to see all of her favorites.
Lightnin was beloved by fans and drivers alike. She passed away in May. She was 103 years old, and they respected her so much, and she got her flowers while she was alive, and that was nice to see.
What a legacy, though.
Right?
And she stayed inside the ticket booth.
Yes.
During every race. She never went out.
Never left.
Just amazing.
All right, we're going to check our forecast now. Hopefully the weather's good for some racing. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now with a look at how things are shaping up. Jonathan.
Yeah, guys, we have a lot of storms out there. The good thing is, at least for us in Daytona, is these are all away from the Speedway right now. And for the most part tonight and tomorrow for the Coke Zero Sugar 400, things are looking decently okay, at least better than what they will be inland. Right now, we are pinpointing a couple of pretty nasty storms around Ocoee and Winter Garden, into Oakland, into Claremont, Mineola, south of Montverde as well. We did have a water spout observed on the southern end of Lake Apopka as these storms kind of merged together. You can see that. Just some pretty erratic motion of these storms tonight because we have what we call outflow boundaries, that rain-cooled air from the thunderstorms hitting the ground, spreading out, firing up additional thunderstorms on there. So we have a little bit of shifting winds. Again, it's not a big tornado potential producing night with these storms or anything like that, but because we have those boundaries around, can't rule out those land spouts tonight. We had one again just on the southern end of Lake Apopka. You clearly see how this is kind of going in different directions. We have another little cell popping up around just southwest of Altamont Springs as well. So we're going to be watching this over the next couple of hours, and really this whole line come together as you see around Deltona into the Lake Mary area. These are going to push themselves back to the west. You see we have more light rain around the west coast sea breeze trying to come towards I-75 as well. That will fire up additional thunderstorms. We're going to talk much more about that in about 15 minutes, guys.
All right, Jonathan, we'll see you then. Get pinpoint weather on the go. Plus, use live interactive radar with our free News 6 Pinpoint weather app. Just search for WKMG in your app store.
Fighting hunger in Central Florida is the mission of one of our partners at Light Orlando.
And this weekend, they are looking for your help to help get results. Light Orlando's annual Hunger Project takes place tomorrow at the Central Florida Fairgrounds Expo Center. They have big goals this year, too. They're getting 1 million meals ready for people in need, twice as many as last year's event. And then they go to 75 local organizations to hand out to the community.
Everybody is facing the pinch at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Hunger doesn't discriminate. We're all struggling to buy groceries. What used to fill your trunk up with $100 now fills your passenger seat. And so we want to be able to provide 1 million servings a meal, 1 million servings that will go into the bellies of those individuals in the community who are struggling to put food on the table.
Really great when the community comes together like this. If you're interested in volunteering tomorrow, there is still time to sign up. We put a link to that on clickorlando.com.
And look at all those people. They did
Isn't that
500,000
amazing?
meals last year, and they're doubling that with 1 million this year. And look, everyone's
The
so
more the merrier.
joyous. Yeah, exactly, because you know you're doing some good in the community, and that is just fantastic.
Absolutely. Well, now at 6, the Lake Mary All-Stars are playing this weekend.
The payoff pitch with 2 down. This one to center field. Morrissey goes back. He's under it. And the Lake Mary Little Leaguers will play for a U.S. championship on Saturday.
Yeah. They sure will. Look at those boys go. So last night they got their 3rd win of the week. We were so nervous. It was a nail biter all week long. So they got their 3rd their win, and so tonight they get a little bit of rest, but they will face off tomorrow against that team from Bernie, Texas.
You know where Bernie, Texas is? It's right along the Rio Grande River, right down south. My first roommate in college was actually from Bernie,
Okay,
Texas.
I was like,
Small
how do you
world.
know that?
No.
I was like, no idea. So whoever wins that game tomorrow will get to play against the winner in the international bracket for the title of Best in the World on Sunday.
But tonight, no matter the outcome, the city of Lake Mary is actually really welcome to welcome these boys back home with a huge celebration. News 6's Catherine Silver is in Seminole County tonight with a sneak peek at their big plans.
With a win against Mountain Ridge, the Lake Mary Little Leaguers are set to play once again on the world's biggest stage Saturday. The All-Stars have made it all the way to the U.S. Championship game.
They have their hometown behind them. So what's in the works back home? How about a parade in the heart of downtown? The city is planning a once-in-a-lifetime celebration on 4th Street Saturday, August 31st at 10 a.m. They say it's one you won't want to miss.
My heart is just bursting. I can't even express it. We can't wait to be a part of it.
Sounds good to the parents and players. What about the mayor?
My first term, 23 years ago, Popka's team did the same kind of accomplishment that Lake Mary is experiencing. They had a citywide parade. I will never forget it. And Lake Mary is going to have a parade for these incredible young boys, their families, the coaches.
Ryan Knipe with Parks and Rec. What can people expect?
We wanted to do it right. We'll have the boys being led by professional mascots from the Magic and others, as well as the Lake Mary High Band, some bagpipers, honor guard. It's going to be a great time, and they'll end at where our farmers market is, and there'll be a big party to celebrate afterwards.
The city has been supporting this team since day one. Do you expect a big turnout?
I expect a huge turnout. If you remember last year, this team missed it in the last inning of the last game to go to the World Series, and they came back to the commission on opening day and said, this is our year.
They are the best in the Southeast, aiming to be the best in the U.S. And Florida is all in for the All-Stars.
And regardless of outcome, know something right now. This will stay with you the rest of your life, and you've already won.
In Lake Mary,
They're going to bring it all back to Lake Mary.
Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
I feel like they just gave us a pep talk.
Really?
I feel good about it.
It's great to see everybody so excited about
I know,
it,
and
though.
so are we, too. So
Yeah.
here's something cool we're doing along with our sister station in San Antonio, Texas, KSAT. If Bernie wins, WKMG will donate $1,000 to their little league. And if Lake Mary, when Lake Mary wins, KSAT will donate $1,000 to our little league. I think it's a great way to show sportsmanship, and it's all for a good cause.
Venmo. They'll be sending it via Venmo.
Be sure to join us at 7 o'clock tonight for our Lake Mary Little League. It's our summer special. Justin gives us a recap of the biggest stories he's covered about the Lake Mary Little League over the last 2 weeks. He's been gone forever.
Yeah.
He's up in Williamsport, of course. Again, that starts tonight in just a little bit, about 20 minutes here at 7 o'clock. Coming up, we are catching up with a Getting Results Award winner.
Yeah, he brought a historic tugboat back from Europe, but his biggest challenge may still be ahead. The latest on this piece of Central Florida history coming up.
And Getting Results for our furry friends will introduce you to Sky and her new family. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Mount Dora, Port Canaveral, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, let's take a live look over downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Tower camera. You can see some dark clouds over there in the distance. Got some rain falling over Central Florida, too.
Meteorologist Jonathan Keggis joins us now with what's going on out there, because we're trying to make some weekend plans.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to do a little bit of dodging if they're outside. I don't think it's a total loss by any means, but free pinpoint weather app is a great tool to help you guide yourself around those storms. We are pinpointing a few of those stronger storms right now. You see the lightning associated with that as we take a look around Apopka into Winter Garden. Took the radar off so you can see the amount of lightning that we have going on. Around Lake Apopka, we also had a weak water spout there. I'm going to turn on the Tampa radar. If you're not familiar with how the radars work, there's several different around Central Florida. They go out about 125 miles, the range. The Melbourne radar was actually struck by lightning the other day. So we're going to work out of Tampa. We're going to look at these nasty storms here right along the I-4 corridor. We were looking at Deltona for just a little bit ago, and now that cell has congealed a little bit further, pretty much right along into the west of the I-4 corridor. So really over the next couple of hours, we are going to watch for things to really begin to fill in. I'll turn the telestrator on, and this is going to be the area really in between I-4 and Ocala into the villages that we will watch over the next couple of hours. Pinpointing that for you here, you see as we move towards 7, 8 o'clock, I do think this high-resolution model missing some of the stuff that's going on right now. So I think it's going to be filled in a little bit more closer to Eustis, closer to Groveland, Mineola, into Apopka, the villages, Bushnell, Lake Panisofsky as well. Then we'll see turn our attention to the coast. There's 7, 8 o'clock for your Saturday morning. Could wake up to a few scattered downpours and lightning strikes right along the coast. We have a weak tropical wave moving in that I'll show you in just a couple of minutes. There's 11 o'clock for your Saturday morning. I think most of us are dry at this point. Of course, you have the big race tomorrow, 7:30, Coke Zero Sugar 400. Daytona Beach, by this point, I think we're going to be okay. I'm cautiously optimistic, but later on in the race, you see some of these rounds of downpours coming in from the Atlantic. That's going to be courtesy of this thing right here. You see this blossoming tropical wave. This is not going to get a name or anything like that, and what this is going to do is it lifts to the north. It is going to send us some extra scattered downpour and thunderstorm possibilities in addition to our routine heating of the day sea breeze storm. So there we go, race time tomorrow, 7:30. By 5 o'clock, I think there's still a decent shot for thunderstorms around the speedway, and then that gradually comes back down through the evening. Then after midnight, those chances go back up again. But I do think most of the race is going to be on the drier side, even though inland we'll be seeing those thunderstorm potential. 88 in Titusville right now. We're at 87 in Winter Haven, 84 in Claremont. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperatures tomorrow staying right in the same ballpark where we've been over the past few days, upper 80s and lower 90s, and that trend is going to continue, this little unsettled pattern that we've gotten ourselves into. We're at 91 tomorrow, 60% shot for storms. That'll go up to 70% by Sunday, and then we're going to keep things pretty typical for this time of the year, lower 90s with that decent shot of storms getting into the early stages of next week, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. All right, so we have a great update for you. I've been calling it a possum update on one of our recent efforts to get results, and it has been a big success so far.
So this is Sky. Sky is 6 years old, gorgeous. You are beautiful. Hi, pretty girl.
And she was eating that up, too. You may remember earlier this week, Trooper Steve went on patrol to Orange County Animal Services. That is where he met Sky, a dog who was actually turned over to the shelter by an owner who simply didn't want her anymore. That just makes my heart break.
Doesn't it, though?
Less than 24 hours later, though, Sky got a new home. She actually now belongs to Michael Adams, the chairman of the City of Orlando Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. He tells us his wife was watching Trooper Steve's stream and just like everybody else, fell in love with Sky right away. And it looks like the feeling is mutual from Sky. Sky is now the 8th dog featured on Trooper Steve's Dogs on Patrol. I'm just going to call it that. And all 8 have now found forever homes.
That's because Paw Patrol is taken.
Trademark. But he's going to be branching out. He goes to Orange County Animal Services.
Yeah.
Steve told me he's going to start going to different animal services around Central Florida.
Listen,
so
no one's going to be mad at that. The only problem is he's going to start filling that truck with pups he's bringing back for all of us. Because we all say, hey, what's the status of that dog? Because we're all animal lovers here and we have pets. And Sky, to hear that someone just didn't want, I understand, if, you know, you can't afford it or something like that, but to say, I just don't want him anymore. It hurts.
Sky's going to find love at home right now.
So much, so much.
Now to an update on a Getting Awards winner that we featured more than a year ago, actually.
Yeah, when we last met Dan Friend, he just brought a vintage tugboat back home from Europe. The boat has ties to Central Florida and may have even been part of one of the biggest chapters in U.S. history. Now it needs a permanent home, but finding one may be his biggest challenge. News 6's Julie Broughton explains.
This part of the river is known as Beersford Bend. It's a channel that comes out of Lake Beersford.
A trip up the St. Johns River can be like going back in time.
Right there.
And for Dan Friend, the clock stops in 1944.
It's always fun to visit Tiger.
Tiger is this 86-foot-long World War II era tugboat. It weighs 200 tons, and it's got a grip on Friend.
I look at an amazing old rusty tugboat that is unique in the world. It's interesting to say this, but this boat has kind of taken over my life.
The retired history teacher has become arguably the world's best and only expert on these World War II tugboats.
Believe it or not, this is the original anchor mechanism.
28 others just like this were built less than a mile from here on the shores of Lake Beresford. At least 16 went to Europe, where they most likely played a part after the invasion at Normandy. Friend has dedicated most of the last 12 years to researching their story. Now, he can't wait to share it.
I have found 2 other boats that have the similar upgrade.
ST-479 Tiger was found decaying in a canal in Stockholm, Sweden. After years of hard work and fundraising, Friend was able to bring it home.
This is the only one that was still original. Made all the difference in the world to us in terms of a collectible.
But years on the water have taken their toll.
The entire superstructure has bits and pieces of rust. This is the worst. It's not leaking, but rust never sleeps.
Restoration efforts can't start until it's taken out of the water.
When I first pulled up information on this tugboat, there was a story that this entire pilot house had been rebuilt because it was destroyed in a German grenade attack.
Turns out that's probably not true. But in Friend's mind, that doesn't mean its history is any less significant. That's why he's tirelessly trying to get a monument built to display it and memorialize all the boats built in DeLand.
Every time I come on board, I feel like saying hello to the ghosts of all the men that were here.
After years of chasing the past, Friend's focus is now on the future.
I just wish I had a clearer vision on exactly how this is all going to play out. It's been in the water 80 years, so it's time to bring her out.
Wow, you can hear it in his heart. You could just hear it in his voice how he just feels so emotional about it.
Attached.
Yeah. But I love that he's trying to figure it out and not letting that history get lost.
But
or
it's
washed
such
away.
a neat piece. I almost said chunk of history. It is a chunk,
It is a
but
chunk.
It's just so neat just to see. Friends' latest effort was a letter writing campaign to state officials asking for public lands in an area where Tiger can be displayed. And he's hoping for a state grant or maybe even some private donations to help with funding there.
Yeah, I know the generosity of people here in Central Florida.
They'll make it
Probably
happen.
Get it. Well, if you or someone you know is getting results, we want to know about them. You can nominate someone you know by going to our website, clickorlando.com. You'll find the form under the menu tab. Go to the Contact Us link and remember to choose the Getting Results Award option. And you might just see them featured right here in the coming weeks.
Well, we want to give you a sincere thank you to everybody who donated to our Gift for Teaching phone bank yesterday.
A lot of people, too. We raised
Yeah.
more than $30,000, which will pay for more than $600,000 worth of school supplies for teachers to give to kids in need. And I know that math usually doesn't math in the real world, but because of matching funds and all the generosity of the people who gave, it works out just fine. So teachers don't have to go into their own pockets and get things for those kids.
Gift for Teaching is fantastic.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Chick-fil-A announcing a new drive-through centered restaurant.
And the oldest coaster at Busch Garden will close in 2 weeks. What's trending on clickorlando.com when News 6 at 6:30 continues. Stay with us. We're back in 2 minutes.
Coming up Monday, one local county looks for feedback when it comes to their roads.
Yeah, who's looking to hear from homeowners when it comes to everything from widening projects, new turn lanes, and the chances you'll have to give your feedback.
And Candace pinpointing your forecast every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Morning starting at 5 a.m.
All right, so let's take a look at what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. As the Lake Mary All-Stars get ready for their U.S. Championship game tomorrow, the community is rallying behind them, including the city of Lake Mary. It's planning a once-in-a-lifetime celebration for the boys when they return to Florida with a massive parade that's going to happen next weekend. And hopefully they'll have some hardware to show.
That would be
Yeah,
lovely.
wouldn't that be sweet?
It would be. Regardless, it's going to be awesome.
I think it's just going to be a great game this weekend, too. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't either.
All right, here's some other trending stories right now on clickorlando.com. The popular coaster at Busch Gardens, Tampa, is going to be closing in 2 weeks. They're getting rid of their oldest coaster, the Scorpion, to make room for an all-new coaster. The last time the ride there is September 2nd.
Okay, so Chick-fil-A is opening its first elevated drive-through, the restaurant's drive-through, only with a larger kitchen to send out meals faster, and will serve more cars than the average Chick-fil-A.
Elevated?
I don't know.
Send it down on a slide, maybe?
Yeah.
Throw it down?
Just right into my mouth. So, thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
And remember, we break news on clickorlando.com. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock tonight. Happy Friday.